Shalom ubracha, peace and blessings. This week's Torah reading is Parshas Vayeshev. Vayeshev means and he settled. It is the opening word of our Torah reading. The Torah reading opens by telling us that Yaakov and his children settled in the land of his father's journeys, which obviously is the land of Canaan, or the land of Israel. Yosef is introduced to us as a young person. He's 17 years old. He is Yaakov's favorite, and Yaakov gives him a coat. This coat is familiar to us from the story of Joseph and the Technicolor Dreamcoat. Joseph receives this as a gift and then goes on to share his dreams with his brothers. The combination of his father's favoritism and his dream in which his brothers are subservient to him cause his brothers significant jealousy to the extent that they want to kill him. They are about to execute their plot, and they decide to throw him into a pit instead. A passing caravan, which is going to Egypt, affords them the opportunity to sell him into slavery instead. The Torah reading ends with Yosef being sold into the servitude of Potiphar, a minister of Pharaoh. He's accused by Potiphar's wife of attacking her, and falsely accused, and placed in jail. The Torah reading ends with Yosef in jail interpreting dreams. He interprets the dream of the baker and the wine steward. He says the baker will be put to death, and he ultimately is, and the wine steward is released, and Yosef says to the wine steward, "Don't forget me. Tell Paro that I'm here." Now, if we fast forward, the end of the story is that Yosef rises to become the viceroy of Egypt and the CEO of all of Pharaoh's assets. He brings his father back from Egypt. They are reunited. He forgives his brothers, and the story has a very positive outcome. But this week's Torah reading leaves us with Yosef in a very dark place, with Joseph in a very dark place. Now, the Joseph narrative is always read around Hanukkah. And Rav Nachman of Breslov explains to us that the reason that the Joseph narrative is read around Hanukkah is because there are parallels. Joseph found himself in a place of great darkness, yet he never gave up hope. Not only did he never give up hope, he never gave up the essence of who he is. He had opportunities to compromise, and he didn't. He wouldn't. He couldn't, because it was part of who he is. Similarly, the Maccabees found themselves facing horrible odds. They were facing a superior force that had dominated the Jewish community and deprived them of their religious freedom. Yet, they chose to fight, and they prevailed, even though the darkness seemed to have blocked out all of the light. Why? Why was Yosef able to keep his integrity and dream? And why were the Maccabees able to keep their integrity and dream and fight and recapture the temple in order that they may be able to express their belief and practice their faith in God? The answer is found in the very word Maccabee. The word Maccabee can be a contraction of the words Mi chamocha be'elim Adonai. Who is like you, our God? This is something that has afforded us hope in even the darkest of moments. When we recite Kaddish, it is an affirmation of faith in God, a realization of the vision of Chazal, of our sages long ago, that even during our darkest moments, we can cling to hope by affirming our faith, by realizing that it is ultimately God who created this world. And in the final analysis, God will allow and in fact champion justice, and it will prevail. This message of hope is essential during this time when darkness consumes the headlines and acts of terrorism and violence seem to surround everything that we are exposed to. We need to maintain the perspective that ultimately goodness will prevail, that even during the darkest moments, we need to be like Yosef and the Maccabees long ago. As we enter into the holiday of Hanukkah, may the light of Hanukkah and the light of Yosef long ago permeate our hearts and give us hope and solidify our faith that ultimately good will prevail. Shabbat Shalom.